It happened on an ordinary sunny afternoon in the middle of summer, the kind of day where the heat shimmers off the asphalt and the air smells faintly of sun, baked concrete, and gasoline. In a small town in Oregon, a man named Noah Briggs walked out of a grocery store with his 6-year-old daughter, Mia, holding her tiny hand and a few grocery bags. His old pickup truck sat across the parking lot, dented and faded from years of service. Noah wore a plain gray T-shirt, a pair of worn jeans, and a military-style cap that had clearly seen better days. His gait was slightly uneven, the remnant of an injury he'd sustained years ago overseas. His eyes, though calm, carried a depth that only those who have seen war could understand. As they walked toward the truck, a group of teenagers in a nearby car started laughing, their music blaring, energy reckless with youth. One of them pointed at Noah, whispering something to his friends before chuckling cruelly. Within seconds, one of the boys leaned out the window, holding a half-finished Coca-Cola. He smirked, aimed, and before anyone could react, hurled it straight at Noah and his daughter. The can burst open on impact, splashing sticky soda across Noah's chest, face, and the little girl's dress. Mia gasped in shock and clung to her father's leg, trembling. The boys erupted in laughter, cheering as if they'd scored a goal. Noah didn't shout, he didn't curse, he just stood still, blinking away the sting of the soda, his jaw tightening ever so slightly. The world around him fell quiet for a moment. The memory of battlefield dust, the cries of fallen brothers, and the chaos of war flashed in the back of his mind, but he swallowed it all down. Slowly, he wiped his face with the back of his hand and crouched beside Mia, his voice steady and gentle as he whispered, "It's okay, sweetheart, don't cry. They're just kids who don't understand." But the truth was, inside, something burned. Not anger, not pride, but the pain of being seen as less than human after giving everything for a country that had mostly forgotten him. Before we go further, if you believe that kindness still matters, that everyone deserves a second chance no matter their scars or story, please take a moment to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Kindness Journal. Let's spread humanity one story at a time. Noah got into his truck with Mia, still sticky from the coke, and quietly drove home. Their little house sat on the edge of town, where tall trees shadowed a worn fence. Inside, the walls were decorated not with luxury, but with love. Mia's colorful drawings, a few medals framed on the wall, and an old photograph of Noah in uniform, standing tall with his Marine brothers. He had been one of the best. Staff Sergeant Noah Briggs, legendary sniper, known for saving dozens of lives in Afghanistan, but that was years ago. The war ended, and so did his place in the world. Since losing his wife in a car accident 3 years earlier, Noah had been raising me alone. He took odd jobs, construction, security work, even janitorial shifts to make ends meet. Yet no matter how hard life got, he never complained. Every morning he'd pack Mia's lunch, braid her hair, and remind her to always be kind, even when others aren't. But that afternoon, after the Coke incident, something changed. That night, when he tucked Mia into bed, she asked in her small, tearful voice, "Daddy, why did they laugh at us? Why did they throw that drink?" Noah froze, searching for the right words. "Because sometimes people forget to see others as people," he said softly, "but we can't forget who we are. We don't hurt back. We rise above." Still, when Mia fell asleep, Noah sat on the porch, staring at the stars, his heart heavy. It wasn't just about humiliation. It was about how invisible he'd become. The man who once defended his country was now treated like a joke. The next morning, he went back to work at a local auto repair shop, trying to shake off the memory. But the video of what happened, the Coke being thrown, had already made its way onto social media. One of the teens had filmed it, captioning it, "Homeless vet gets a Coke shower lol." It spread like wildfire. People laughed, shared, mocked. By noon, Noah's coworkers had seen it too. Some avoided eye contact, Others offered awkward sympathy, but Noah stayed silent. He just kept fixing engines, his hands steady, his face expressionless. That evening, as he was closing the shop, an older mechanic named Russ approached him. "That was you in that video, wasn't it?" Noah nodded slowly. Russ sighed. "Damn kids. Don't let it get to you, man. You're stronger than that." Noah smiled faintly, grateful for the rare kindness. 2 days later, the tone of the internet began to shift. A local veteran recognized Noah from the video. "That's not just any vet." The man wrote on Facebook, "That's Noah Briggs, one of the finest Marine snipers this country ever had. I served with him. That man saved lives." The post went viral overnight. Suddenly, the same people who had mocked Noah began sharing the truth. Comments poured in, thousands of them, calling out the cruelty of what happened and praising his calm dignity. Reporters began showing up at Noah's doorstep, wanting interviews. He declined them all. "I'm no hero," he told one who wouldn't leave. "Heroes are the ones who didn't make it back." But something remarkable began to happen. People from around the country started sending letters, donations, and messages of gratitude. Mia began receiving gifts, books, toys, and drawings from other children. The town that had once ignored Noah now began to embrace him. The mayor invited him to a local event honoring veterans. At first, Noah wanted to refuse. He didn't want pity, but Mia convinced him. "Please, Daddy. Maybe it'll show people to be kind." On the day of the event, the sun was bright again, almost like the day of the Coke incident. But this time there was laughter of a different kind. Families gathered, flags waved gently in the breeze, and the same group of teenagers, faces pale with guilt, stood awkwardly near the edge of the crowd. They had come to apologize. When Noah took the stage, the applause was thunderous. He stood before the microphone, holding Mia's hand. For a moment, he just looked at the crowd, at the faces watching him, some ashamed, some inspired. Then he spoke in that calm, steady voice. "A few days ago, I was reminded that cruelty can come easy," he began. "It's easy to laugh, easy to hurt, easy to forget that the person you mock might be carrying more than you can imagine. But what matters is not the pain we receive, it's the grace we choose to give back." He paused, his voice thickening with emotion. "I've seen what hate does to people. I've seen it destroy lives, so I made a promise to my daughter, and to myself, that no matter what happens, we'll answer hate with kindness, because that's the only way the world changes." The crowd rose to their feet in applause. The teenagers, tears streaking their faces, walked up to Noah after the event. They couldn't look him in the eyes at first, but one of them finally whispered, "We're sorry, sir. We didn't know who you were." Noah knelt down, his voice gentle but firm. "You don't need to know who someone is to treat them with respect. Just remember that next time." The boys nodded, trembling, and Noah pulled each one into a brief hug. That moment, caught on a reporter's camera, spread across the internet again, but this time for the right reasons. In the following weeks, Noah's story inspired countless people. The video, titled "Veteran Forgives Teens Who Humiliated Him," reached millions of views. Messages poured in from all around the world. People who had been bullied, ignored, or broken by life, all finding strength in his calm forgiveness. Mia's words became the new slogan of a kindness campaign started by the community. Be kind, even when others aren't. Months later, Noah opened a small nonprofit in his garage, helping veterans transition back into civilian life. He called it Second Sight, symbolizing not just a sniper's precision, but the ability to see humanity again after darkness. The same teenagers volunteered there, helping clean, fix, and deliver supplies to struggling veterans. They had changed. Noah hadn't just forgiven them, he'd shown them how to be better. And on one quiet Sunday morning, as the sun filtered through the trees, Noah sat on his porch again, sipping coffee, while Mia played with her puppy in the yard. A breeze carried the scent of pine and fresh hope. For the first time in years, Noah felt peace, not the silence of war's end, but the peace that comes when pain finally turns into purpose. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that compassion and forgiveness still have the power to heal, please like this video, share it with someone who needs a reminder today, and subscribe to Kindness Journal for more real stories of hope and humanity. And before you go, take a moment to comment below. Tell us, what's one act of kindness that changed your life? Because sometimes one simple act of empathy can ripple farther than any bullet ever could.